Hello, I am RJB and welcome to my channel where I, RJB, cast fastest map games on StarCraft. It should actually be the other way around, but screw that. I'm just gonna stick with fastest map games on StarCraft. And this time we have something completely different from usual. Let me just hide this interface and open that one, and open that one. So we have Voss against Voss. And Voss, just like Voss, is playing Zerg. And Voss is playing the white Zerg, and Voss is playing the red Zerg. And they're positioned on spot number 3 and spot number 6, and they're both sending their overlords out to the sides, away from each other, so it will be a while before they find each other. It will be down to the next overlord that they make, with which they can find each other. And maybe they know that it's Zerg against Zerg, maybe they don't know. We will just have to wait and see. A little bit of chat going on, I have no idea what they're saying, as usual, because I can actually read Korean. I know all what the letters individually, what they mean. I mean what they sound like, not what they mean. I know the script, but not the language. Alright, so just saying more random stuff. So I assume. So yeah, I have no idea who Voss is. I know who Voss is. Voss is Gas Filter, JH, and a lot of other names. And yeah, ZvsZ is very exciting, as we can see. Both players starting off with double hatchery, with basically, or pretty much the exact same timing. And they're both making an overlord. Though actually, Voss's overlord was out a little bit earlier, so he is a little bit ahead of Voss, and Voss is a little bit behind of him. But Voss has his pool out earlier than Voss does. And Voss is in fact going for 3 hatcheries before he even considers making a pool. So he's going for the full-on economy build, whereas Voss is going for a slightly smaller economy, as he also has a very early gas out, which is about almost finished, about 10 more seconds left. And he is scouting diagonally instead of going for spot number 5 first, because he knows that he would have already been scouted if Voss was number 5. Although he's still sending this drone out to spot number 5. He's going to see this overlord. Or maybe he's not going to see the overlord. He's looking for creep, and there's no creep there. And if in fact does see the overlord, there's a little ooh, look at that. And now Voss is starting with his gas. There's a pool out. 3 hatcheries almost finished. He's throwing down a couple of creep colonies for sun guns. Voss is doing no such thing. He doesn't need any sun guns. He believes completely in the fact that he will be able to make it through. And Voss now scouting spot number 1 with his drone. So he's completely ignoring spot number 3, even though it is pretty evident that Voss is there. But he seems to disagree with me, and now he's sending 3 drones to his gas, starting to mine his gas. And Voss has already started his metabolic booster for his Zerglings, so he will have speedlings up in just a little bit. And now there are 2 Zerglings out for Voss, and he will use them to scout the map, just to get those last 2 spots covered quicker than he would be able to with an overlord. And now Voss's drone finally finds Voss's base. Drone walks in, drone avoids the sun guns just narrowly, almost gets killed there. If it just gone in a little bit deeper, he would have died. And now both players actually know Voss is the only one making a Hydralisk den. And he's on 4 hatcheries already, whereas Voss is only on 3 hatcheries, and he's making a 5th and a 6th one. A 4th and a 5th one, actually. But he has a lot of Zerglings out. Still have 12 Zerglings, and he's going for the attack. He's trying to go on the offensive. And this top hatchery for Voss is completely exposed, so he will definitely be able to harass that one just a little bit. And here the overlord's hanging over his base. He's making a lair. And there it goes. The hatchery is going to go down. He's trying to go in and take down a couple of drones, but in return he loses 2 Zerglings. That is 50 minerals lost and 50 minerals lost for both of players. There is the first Hydralisk, and there is Hydralisk range being produced for Voss, and Voss loses more Zerglings. He's lost 4 Zerglings as of yet, but in return he got a hatchery, which is 300 minerals, so 350 minerals lost for Voss, and now only 100 minerals lost for Voss, but Voss is going to lose his overlord, so that will be 200 minerals lost, and he is also set back on his supply count. But there is an Overlord that finishes, but now he has to make another Overlord, and he made 2 Overlords there, so he is not set back that much. But these Hydralisks that Voss has are definitely stronger than the Zerglings that Voss has. And Voss is now trying to set up a surround on the Hydralisks, and he gets a surround off, but he doesn't have enough. Actually, it does seem like he has almost enough Zerglings to actually kill almost the entire mass that Voss had, but Voss comes out on top in the end. And now it's just we have to wait for the Spire to finish for Voss, and Voss knows that Voss is making an Spire because he has an Overlord hanging inside of Voss's base. And Voss is throwing down 3 creep colonies, hoping to buy himself enough time to ward Voss off and scare him off. But the economic advantage that Voss has over Voss is quite big, although he is on only 5 hatcheries, of which 4 are finished and 1 is still under construction. And Voss already has 5 hatcheries and another hatchery under construction and almost has a Spire down. And there's a fight going on the middle. A lot of Zerglings and Hydralisks have died, and the Speedlings are surrounding the Voss's Hydralisks, and Hydralisks try to micro himself out of the sticky situation, but he fails to do so, and he's going to lose all of his Hydralisks, and he is instead now trying to buy time by setting them the other way. And will Voss respond and instead ignore the Hydralisks? No, he doesn't. He keeps chasing the Hydralisks, and 2 of the Zerglings have gone to Voss's base by accident, where Voss is already constructing new Hydralisks in the hopes of being able to fight off whatever Voss is going to throw at him. Just a Skull of Hydralisks, and there another hatchery. He has his Hydralisk speed has just finished, so that will be easier for him to micro against Zerglings, although the Speedlings are still way faster than the Hydralisks and will still probably be able to surround his Hydralisk without much trouble. And sending out more Zerglings to the middle. Voss sees him send out his Zerglings with that Hydralisk that he just sent out to scout with. He's now also sending a lot of Overlords all across and around the Voss's base to see whatever. We get some map control out. And here Voss is now throwing out his Zerglings, but the Sun in the back and the Hydralisks being grouped up. And the Zerglings unable to surround the Hydralisks quickly die, and he pulls back. And he's still on. He's no lair yet. He's fully committing to just Hydralisks. So it will be interesting to see if Voss can produce a sufficient amount of Mutalisks and out micro the Hydralisk. And now Voss has his units walking into Voss's base, but then he realizes that Voss set up a trap and is sending his Zerglings in from behind. And Voss pulls back, Voss fights it off. Now Voss pulls his Zerglings back. Now Voss is attacking the Hydralisks. The Sunkens and the Mutalisk. The Mutalisk goes down, and he's now taking down and target firing with the Sunkens. And his Evo chamber there on the side. He pulls back his Hydralisks as he sees Zerglings coming back in to attack him. And now the Mutalisks and the Zerglings are going to clean up the Hydralisks, but the Hydralisks are regrouping with more Hydralisks. And the Hydralisks are now microing backwards to chase off the Zerglings. And a lot of the Zerglings have died, but now the Mutalisks are there. Not enough Mutalisks to take down the Hydralisks, and the Hydralisks are getting flanked from behind by Zerglings, and the Zerglings are cleaning up some Hydralisks, as the Hydralisks are focusing down the Mutalisks, but the Mutalisks mostly die, and all the Zerglings have also died, and there goes. Voss kills 2 Overlords of Voss, but Voss has a vastly superior supply count. He's ahead by 28 supply, although he did just lose 2 of his Overlords, so he will be stagnated for just a little bit longer. And here, Voss can see Voss leaving his base. Voss is grouping up his Hydralisks inside the choke of Voss, and Voss is massing up a lot of Mutalisks. He has 12 Mutalisks grouped up into a single group there. And he is splitting them up. He has them grouped up with an Overlord, so he can mute a Mutalisk micro against the Hydralisk, but he is not pulling. The micro is done quite well, but he's still. Oh, he makes a couple of mistakes there, a couple of micro fails, and there a bunch of Mutalisks get cut up in the aggression and get pulled into the Hydralisk. And I do think that Voss lost only 2 Mutalisks, I think, and took down about 4 or 5 or maybe 6 Hydralisks. But I think that situation is overall better for Voss, because now most of Voss's Mutalisks are on very low HP. Though he is still very far ahead in Psy, I feel that these Hydralisks are way more versatile if controlled correctly, and the Mutalisk can go down very quickly with just a single micro mistake. Now Voss is keeping a couple of his Hydralisks inside of the choke to see whatever is going to leave Voss's base. And now Voss is hunting for an opening inside of Voss's base, and there he finds an Overlord, but he doesn't take down Overlord. He takes down a couple of drones. 2 drones have died, 3 drones have died, 2 the Mulelist Micro, 4 drones have died. And now he's trying to take down a couple of Hydralisk, takes down a Hydralisk, takes down another Hydralisk almost. And he is still microing around of Voss's base, and Voss is trying to chase him around with his Mulelist and with his Hydralisk and fight off the Mulelisks. And now he pulls back to his base and regroups with even more Mulelisks. I think he has around 26 Mulelisks in total now. And that might just be enough to fight off and kill Voss. So we just have to wait and see for the Mulelisks to regroup, group up. And then they will be able to navigate way more easily around the base of Voss than Voss can navigate around the base himself. And he immediately goes for the lair that is still on hatchery HP. And these 24 Mulelisks will make very quick work of that lair. I mean, hatchery, he takes down the hatchery. He does lose a lot of his Mulelisks, but losing the lair is way worse for Voss than losing some Mulelisks is for Voss. And now Voss's income is slowed down drastically, whereas Voss is already on a hive and is making a Defiler's Mound and even a Great Aspire. And once his Great Aspire finishes, he will probably make a bunch of... Nope, Voss taps out, he calls the GG and surrenders because he knows that there is no coming back from losing a hatchery against a Zerg that still has hatchery and is way ahead in supply and income and even in base size. So Voss taps out. Voss went for the superior strategy and had the superior control at some parts too. Had some nice surrounds going on the middle and in front of Voss's choke. And he pulls out the win in this ZvsZ extravaganza. Thanks for watching. I'll probably be doing another game right after this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.